the pool house construction is getting ready to get underway. We got the masons here this morning. They're getting set up, and as you can see, we got a huge pile of cinder blocks, concrete blocks, sorry. So I used to call them cinder blocks, but those are concrete blocks. We got a huge pile of those, and our general contractor, Steve, is over there meeting with the head mason right now, figuring out the door openings and everything. Right now they're looking at the door opening that goes into the pool house part, where the mechanical stuff is. And then we were just laying out the block opening for the bathroom side of things. So they're getting everything figured out here, and they're going to get started here shortly. They got a pretty good crew here, so I think they're going to be able to knock this out pretty quickly. By the end of the day, we will have everything done as far as the block work, and then Steve and his crew will be able to come back in and get the fronts framed, doors set, and the roof on. So it's going to go pretty quickly. Cannot wait to see what it looks like once we get it done here. It's going to be such a blessing to be able to work in a pool house that's, you know, a full story tall, so I don't beat my brains out every time I have to go in there to get some work done. So we're gonna let these guys get to work, and Amber will keep you guys posted during the day with some updates, and then we'll circle back around this evening, let you know what it all looks like. All right, as you can see, the guys are making good progress. The top block on the corner there, that's gonna be the final height of the pool house, about 8'8" inside. So we're going from having to squat down and crawl around on our hands and knees to put equipment in there to actually being able to stand up and put our hands overhead and still not hit the ceiling. So that's super exciting. Guys are making lots of progress today, so hopefully we're going to see a lot more of this done before they quit this evening. We'll keep you guys posted. So our crew from First Response Restoration has been making some good progress on our preparations for the carriage house. They were here yesterday working on the foundation and getting some rough end done for plumbing. We got the floor drain in, so I can walk over here without the big mud hole. We had tons of rain last night. So they got the floor drain in, as you can see. That runs straight out the side there. And then this is our main waste line. And that'll come down from the upstairs bath. And then that runs across over the other side here. Nice folks from the city of Charleston came out and did our sewer tap. We just happened to have a manhole right at the edge of our property here. So they were able to tap in right down there next to the manhole stack. And then our guys came in and hooked up to the waistline here. And then as you can see, they actually started filling in here yesterday, started moving some gravel in. Kind of built them a road over the edge of the foundation here. They've been using the skid steer to bring in loads of gravel and fill in. Also over here on this corner, I told them I was a little bit concerned about the height of the foundation, where it's located on the property. And you're kind of dropping over the edge here. And I wanted to add some reinforcement to the block. So what they did was put some rebar down through the block and then poured some grout in and formed some columns about every 4 feet. We got one right into the corner, and then about every 4 feet down this way and down the back. And all that does is just provides a little extra stiffness. Our last house, we had some foundation issues, and I think we're always a little paranoid about foundations and movement and that sort of thing. Contractor said it's probably overkill, but you know what? I'd rather do a little overkill at this stage than be worried about it, or heaven forbid have some cracking in the foundation or movement down the road. There's not a lot of fill in here. You know, this was not a lot of ground pressure pushing out on the foundation. So it probably wouldn't have been an issue. But anyways, we, out of an abundance of caution, asked them to put a little reinforcement there. So they got that done. So they're going to finish up on their rough ends. Over next to the garden shed is where the electric transformer is at the edge of the property there. So they'll bring that utility underground over to the corner here and place a meter on the outside of the building once they get framed up. So that'll actually come underground, which will be nice. Won't have any drops or anything like that to have trees fall on them. So I think they've got all the waterproofing done on the outside of the foundation, so that looks good. They've also put their foundation drain in. Not sure if they've covered all that up or not. Let's see. Yeah, it's all pretty well covered up, but they used corrugated pipe with the filter on the outside of it. So we got a foundation or a footer drain. So that's going to help us. Probably not a lot of water issues around this foundation, but that's just one of those precautionary things. You want to get that water away from the building so you don't have any settling or erosion under the footer. So we're looking pretty good here. Looking pretty good. I think we've got to get the city to come out and sign off on our foundation, the waterproofing, the footer drain, the rough ends for all the plumbing, all that stuff. And once they've signed off on that, the guys will be ready to go ahead and pour the slab. And we're doing a 6-inch slab reinforced with rebar in here, which would be overkill for some garages, but I'm going to have some big stuff parked in here. You know, big trucks, tractors, that sort of thing. And over on this side, we're going to have the lift, and that gets anchored into the concrete. So they recommend, I believe, at least 5 inches. And they specify, you know, what type of concrete, how many PSI concrete it's supposed to be, how many rebar you're supposed to have per foot, the size of rebar, all that sort of stuff. And we went beyond that. You know, they gave you the recommended minimum, and we went beyond that. So we'll do the same thing. I mean, you could just do, I guess, a 6-inch pour on this side and then do the rest of it, you know, 5 or 4 or whatever. But again, I'd rather do some overkill on the concrete right now and never have to worry about my slab cracking down the road. Because again, with some big heavy stuff in here, that's always a concern. So, looking good. We will keep you guys updated as more progress happens here at the garage. Lots of exciting stuff to come, and cannot wait to have this space available. This will be our base of operations for our wood shop, mechanic shop. I'm going to have a blacksmith shop here at some point. Looking forward to doing that. So this is going to be a really neat addition for us. Plus a lot of storage, plus an extra bedroom and bathroom up above. So it'll be great for guests. So exciting stuff. I'll keep you all posted. So the crew had to finish up last night, not too long after I shot the last video. The weather was moving in. As you can see, everything's soaked. We got some pretty good storms come through last night, but they still got a ton done. I mean, quite a bit of it was just kind of getting set up and ready to go, and then getting everything leveled out, getting everything lined up. You know, set up sometimes takes quite a while, especially when you're adding on to old block and you got to get level with it, and then you know, adding on as far as the size of the building. So I think they knocked out a bunch of stuff yesterday. We're tickled. I don't think they're going to be back today. Weather kind of looks, you know, iffy, rain off and on, but you're starting to be able to get an idea of the size of the space now. So this is going to be the bathroom. It's just going to be a 2-piece bath, you know, vanity and toilet, and then we'll have some cabinetry and some things in there for storage. So it's going to be a nice little bathroom, nothing extravagant. We're going to do some neat things in there as far as the tile and the decorations and everything. So we're excited about that. That's going to be a nice space. And then over here, again, that's the mechanical room. And I'm stoked about this because, as you can see, I'm going to have a lot of space. I mean, roughly the same floor space, but it's going to give us a whole lot more headroom. And that's going to allow me to kind of rearrange everything, get everything up off the floor, and, you know, rewire and replumb everything. It's just going to be so much easier to work on and allow us to add some additional equipment down the road if we want to, plus more storage for the pool cleaner and everything else on that side. So really coming together. Hopefully we'll see some more of it go up the rest of this week. After the rain moves out, I think the guys will be back probably the day, probably tomorrow, to knock out some more of this. So excited to see the rest of it come together. What do you think, hon?
I like it.
Looks good, doesn't it? Can you see it? Can you visualize?
I can.
Yeah, it's gonna be nice and tall. We're trying to keep it, trying to make it in keeping with the rest of the house. So it's not gonna be brick. We're gonna do the hardy plank or the cement board siding on the sides, and it'll have the same roof line.
Gonna have a cupola.
Have the cupola on top. The cupola that used to be on the garage, right? Yeah. So that'll be cool. And then we'll do the same detail, though. Can't really see it too good right now, but the same
The dental mold.
dental mold. See it there, just under our soffit. So that'll go on there too.
Yeah, that's it.
All right, very good. Well, when I did the update this morning, I was not anticipating them coming back today because the forecast was awful. So we really thought that they were not going to be here today at all. But as you can see, the masons came out in force. They had an extra block layer and I think an extra helper or two, and they knocked it out. So now you can really appreciate the full height of the new space. Hey! Little wind and rain blowing in there.
Sorry.
Don't lose your umbrella. But yeah, now you can appreciate the full height of the space. And look how small the equipment looks, hon.
I know. It was huge.
That 36-inch filter vessel. I mean, that thing looked massive. Because the original pool house was one block up from the paint, the painted line. We ended up tearing that top block off. And then the concrete roof sat right on top of that. So it was so low, so squatty. But now it's like open, airy. I'm gonna walk in there and feel like the man. Yeah.
No more hitting your head.
I know. It's amazing. Absolutely
How many
amazing.
times did I hear, oh!
Ow! Oh, my head.
Are you okay?
Ah, I'm bleeding. Very badly burned. And this bathroom's gonna be nice. And we got plenty of height, and it's gonna be just a nice space. Two-piece, you know, with the vanity and the toilet, and then we'll have some room in there for maybe another kind of like armoire or someplace to store towels and stuff.
Yeah. I wanted to put enclosed closet, like an enclosed closet. But I don't think there's room for that. So we'll probably have to we'll just have to wait and see.
We'll have to get some stuff in there and just
tight.
Right, yeah.
But I can definitely do some open shelves and hooks and
Definitely. Yeah, we'll have to get it all framed out and you know, get the bathroom in there and see what it feels like. But over here, I think we definitely have room for shelving and stuff up above. Once I get all my control panels and wiring and all that stuff done, I have a much better feel for the space.
But you're not gonna have much like open room because the whole equipment, you know, the pipes and stuff take up so much of that.
Yeah, I mean it's a little
But
it's a little hard to see it right now because normally there's two pumps right here, and there's a whole bunch of pipes and other stuff that kind of go across here.
You'll be able to walk, you know.
Step over.
Step over.
Yeah, because I mean before I had to like crawl through. So now I'll be able to like step over and go to the back, grab some stuff.
Definitely put some open shelves in there.
Yeah, open shelves, keep pool chemicals and
all that.
the control panel will go up on the wall here. I'll be able to like stand up and change some settings. We're gonna have a breaker panel here, and that will give us the room we need to add on for some lights here in the pool house, and of course lights over here. Do an outlet on the outside here. Talking about doing some gas lights.
Maybe.
Maybe.
We'd like to, but
Be pretty cool though, wouldn't it?
it'd be very cool.
Because we have gas right there.
I know.
All we just have to do is put a T in.
Gas lights are very expensive compared to electric lights.
They are, but man, they pay dividends in ambiance.
I know. But I worry about kids.
Yeah, but we could always turn them off and on.
I guess.
Just light them when we're out here. We'll see.
Yeah.
But next step is going to be framing. The guys will have to come back, frame in the door openings, set the doors, and of course frame up and set the roof.
And then the whole exterior gets hardy plank.
Yeah, the whole exterior gets hardy plank siding, which will look like the stuff that's up on the gable end of the house there. We talked about doing brick, but
It's just gonna be
super expensive.
2 or 3 times more expensive. So.
And we like the idea of like a colonial outbuilding. Yeah. A lot of those were just siding.
Have the cupola on the top of this.
Yeah. The cupola that used to reside on the garage will go on top of that, so give it a good, nice feel. All right, honey. Very exciting stuff.
I know.
So we'll keep you guys posted as this progress continues. And
We have like 5 weeks till pool opening. Well, that's till Memorial Day, I think. About
yeah, I
5
know.
weeks.
No pressure.
I know.
No pressure. Got to get these guys in, get them out, so I can get back in here and start rebuilding the pool equipment. All that pipe over there on the ground, that's got to go back in. Control panel, pumps, all that.
Yeah. Bathroom doesn't have to be finished. But
No, it doesn't have to be done in time to open the pool, but
I'd like it. But
certainly would be nice.
definitely have to have the equipment done.
Certainly would be nice. Down under there somewhere is our sewer line.
Uh-oh. Are you kidding me? They covered it up.
Have to chip that out.
Yeah.
I'll talk to those guys about that. Masonry's dirty work, but man, it looks
is.
good, doesn't it?
It'll be awesome.
They tooled those joints nicely, and yeah, it's great.
And
All right.
they'll be back in a day or 2 to start the fireplace.
Yes, 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 yes. Our outdoor fireplace goes right over there. You can see some more block piled up there. So get started on that fireplace. As soon as the fireplace is done, the first response crew will get in and start framing up for the back porch.
Yeah.
A lot of changes out here this summer, honey.
Awesome.
Very exciting. All right, we'll keep you guys posted.